we have some brand new Warhammer 40,000 lore, and it's surrounding the greatest Primarch ever, ROGAL DORN. Now, before we jump into this video, I want to give you a big spoiler warning right at the beginning. We're going to be delving into some lore, into some pages from the brand new Fulgrim book. So if you haven't read it, if you're currently reading it, and you don't want to be spoiled, then please leave now. This is your first and only spoiler warning. Now, I will be doing a full spoiler breakdown of this novel at a later date, but for now, I just want to focus on the big thing, and that is, of course, the ROGAL DORN segment. So in this book, the premise is the Emperor's children, Fulgrim, are fighting the Black Templars. The Black Templars have an Emperor's champion, and in the Emperor's champion's passage, we see ROGAL DORN returned in a vision. It is absolutely bloody amazing. So in the background now is a text of this Black Templar having a vision, fighting alongside ROGAL DORN. And I think this is some big implications to future lore. I think this is maybe just the foundations of them bringing ROGAL DORN back, maybe a little bit of a tease. It gets me harder than Terminator armor anyway. So here is the actual text itself. Golden light flared in his vision. Above him, women clad in glittering swoop through the air on metal wings, which of course are sisters of battle, their jump packs trailing clouds of incense. Holy warriors strode forward at his side, some in the same black and white vestments as him, but draped across armor of ancient and priceless designs. And there was the Primarch himself, a vast figure in sun-bright armor, marching at the head of the war host, and Beauregard picked up his pace to match every muscle and sinew, longing to spill blood at his Gene father's side. And then we have the Black Templar like looking in this vision, and he's like, is this actual ROGAL DORN? Like the figure in the vision actually says to him, my son. I'll put it in the background right now. It says, my son. The voice reverberated in Beauregard's skull so loud it banished all other thoughts. Was it Dorn who addressed him, or Sigismund, the first High Marshal of the chapter? Like, the figure says, my warrior. The figure even says, if I'm reading this right, like, no pity, which Beauregard then adds, like, no remorse, no mercy. Is this like the first big tease of Templar Dawn, Crusading Dawn, Angry Dawn? This is something that I think should happen in the lore. ROGAL DORN returning and leading a brand new crusade. We've had like relax and like Dawn planning, strategical Dawn back in the Horus Heresy, Great Crusade, but I want to see Dawn unleashed. I want to see Dawn rage at what has happened to the Imperial Dream, purging his way through the stars, bringing justice to the Imperial Dream. And then what we have is this Emperor's champion coming out of the vision, and he then explains it to a Castellan, asking him, like, why do you look like this? Like, what's going on? Are you okay, brother? And the text in the background right now, it states, his breath caught in his throat at the memory. Dawn himself was there. I fought alongside him beneath the blessed angels of the God Emperor, which is in reference, if I'm not mistaken, to the Sisters of Battle. So again, 40k stuff, right? You fought with Dawn. Garudan's eyes glittered with fever. The foe must have been a mighty one indeed. We fought the Neverborn, heretic Astartes. The image of the horrifying serpent bellowed figure flashed in his mind's eye. The long white hair, the uncanny beautiful features, the glided violent armor, and with them an enemy of myth, the Primarch of the treacherous Third, Fulgrim. And then the Castellan says, like, rise, brother, and stuff like that. So this is the vision before he actually, like, he actually meets Fulgrim. So he's already seen the vision of Fulgrim returning, but obviously in this book, there's no more Dawn and stuff like that. Like, there's, like, a lot of big battles in there with the Black Templars, but there's no more Dawn popping up or anything. But maybe, just maybe, this is a vision of another battle in the future with the Sisters of Battle, with ROGAL DORN return, where he takes on Fulgrim once again on the battlefield. We already know that Dawn has already fought Fulgrim during the Siege of Terror, and technically, I see it as like Dawn won that battle because Fulgrim retreated. I know some people disagree with that, but for me, I think this is setting up maybe, just maybe, little narrative lore steps of Dawn's return to the setting. I know a lot of people keep saying to me, Dawn is dead, he's gone away the dodo, but what people don't understand, if there's no body, there is no death. It's as simple as that. No body, no death. This is like a Hollywood type of film. There's always time for someone to walk back in and be alive. Plus, Primarchs equal a lot of money. So if Games Workshop are going to bring Primarchs back, they're going to bring some of the popular ones back. And a lot of people don't realize Dawn, the Sons of Dawn, are a very, very popular way to go with new models. Just imagine it, right? Like I just said, Black Templar Dawn, Crusade Dawn returned to the setting, leading his sons, leading other sons into the stars again to reclaim the Emperor. You have Gilliman then, you know, doing all the notes and stuff, doing like the Excel sheets. You can have the Lion, I don't know, moonwalking where he goes and stuff like that. But Rogal Dorn leading the spearhead, leading the cream of the crop of the Astartes back into the stars to rightfully claim them in humanities, in the Emperors, in the our name, right? This is what we bloody need. So you tell me what you think. Do you think it's possible that this Black Templar saw a vision of future Dawn returning to the setting? Or do you just think he's absolutely insane, as the Black Templars normally are? I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on this. If anything, I'd love to get your feedbacks on actual Dawn returning to the setting. Do you think it could make sense? Do you think, like, monetary-wise, business-wise, Games Workshop will do that? I personally believe they will. Ever since they brought back the first Primarch with Magnus, I think it's just a number of time now before we get more or less every single Primarch returning back to the setting. I know some people hate that, some people love that, but I think this is the way that Games Workshop is going. I don't think in 10th edition, not 11th, maybe 11th edition it'll be different. I don't think we're going to get any more Primarchs now after Fulgrim in 10th edition, but in 11th edition, I definitely see more Traitor Primarchs coming back and one more Loyalist Primarch coming back. Whoever that is entirely up to the debate, the theories, everything like that. I personally see it as Liam and Russ, but the doors are open now. This is the point I'm trying to make. Games Workshop have opened these doors to the Primarch returning to the setting, and I think little bits of lore narrative like this are just ways to suck us in, to get us to talk, to maybe just build a little bit of a foundation. So if it does happen, they can say, hey, look, we alluded to it back then in this book, and this was a vision from this Black Templar guy, but you just never followed it. That's the way I'm looking at this. Anyway, if you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, like I said, post it down below, and we'll have a nice little chinwag down there. See ya, have a great day, and bye-bye.